service of CNC Worldwide.
The Daily is a service of CNC Worldwide and Jib Jab Greetings. I'm Bud Lowell. Your full AccuWeather forecast is always on top here on your CNC News page. Once there was a company called Eastman Kodak. It made film. 1 out of 10 Rochesterians worked there, and if you got hired there, you were set for life, as you got not only a pension, but your health care and other benefits provided free. Well, no longer. Kodak is now a much smaller company that makes printers. And that smaller Kodak announced Wednesday night an agreement to terminate retiree health coverage and other retiree benefits as of December 31st. A U.S. District Bankruptcy Court judge will have the final say following a hearing in New York City October 29th. If approved, this will mean an end to medical, dental, life insurance, and survivor income benefits once guaranteed to Kodak retirees. The plan doesn't touch their pensions. Those remain fully funded, and they're managed separately from Kodak operations. Kodak says it reached this agreement after 5 months of negotiating with the official committee appointed by the court to represent the interests of retirees during Kodak's Chapter 11 bankruptcy. A news release from Kodak says it will owe $1.2 billion in retiree benefits by the end of this year, and getting out from under the cost of those benefits is crucial to getting the company out of bankruptcy, even more so since Kodak's plan to fund its recovery by selling off its digital imaging patents appears to have collapsed. The Eastman Kodak Retirees Association, ECRA, which has no official connection to the court-appointed committee, reacted with dismay to the announcement. While retirees have been expecting this, spokesman Art Roberts said in a statement that ECRA is very disappointed that the information about such a dramatic change in health and welfare benefits became known via the public court venue. Roberts said it's especially disappointing that neither Kodak nor the official retiree committee felt it was important to communicate to retirees what was coming or to ask for their input. ECRA called that lack of communication a tragedy. In return for getting out from under the benefits liability, Kodak will pay out a total of $657.5 million to the official Retirees Committee, also known as the Section 1114 Committee. And that committee could use that money to help Kodak pensioners who need assistance getting replacement health care or with other needs. But only $7.5 million of that will be in cash. $635 million would be in unsecured claims, only to be paid once Kodak's secured creditors, who are first in line, get what they're owed, and that's not likely to be close to face value. Kodak will also give the committee $15 million in priority claims, which would count with the secured creditors. In other news, a Hilton couple was charged with harassment earlier this week after an altercation following the Greece Arcadia High School girls' soccer game Tuesday evening. Greece police said the mothers of 2 Hilton players got into an argument after the game that escalated into a tussle. One husband tried to break it up and was then tackled by the second husband. At that point, police stepped in and they charged Sherry Sinclair of Hilton and her husband Paul Sinclair. Both are charged with second-degree harassment. They have to appear in Greece Town Court October 25th. The argument apparently related to an earlier dispute, and it may not even have been connected to the soccer match. The Monroe County Sheriff's Department has arrested a gang it says committed 5 bank robberies around Monroe County over the past 3 weeks. Jeffrey Bliss, Sarah Cooney, Israel Romero, and Anthony Way are all from Rochester. All have been charged with robbery, and they're being held in the Monroe County Jail. Bliss without bail. Bail has been set at $50,000 bond for the other 3. Investigators say their crime spree began with a holdup at the Chase Bank in Fairport on September 22nd. Then they robbed banks in Pittsford and Churchville at about 1-week intervals. Then they held up banks in East Rochester and Penfield on Tuesday before being caught. 2 of the Brighton High School students injured in Tuesday's crash between a car and a school bus have been released from Strong Memorial Hospital. 2 others remain hospitalized. All 4 were hurt when the car, driven by 16-year-old John Zachary, smashed into the rear of a school bus carrying students home from Council Rock Elementary. The car ended up wedged underneath the bus, and firefighters had to lift it before they could free the driver and the front seat passenger. Zachary is one of the two teenagers released from the hospital Wednesday. The other was Kevin Thapa, also 16 years old. Scott Collins, who's 16, remains at strong and guarded condition. The other injured teen, 14-year-old Krista Mickle, has been upgraded to satisfactory condition. All four were identified Wednesday by the Brighton Central School District. The four elementary school students and the driver on the school bus weren't hurt when it was rear-ended on Warren Avenue. Brighton police are continuing their investigation. They're doing a crash reconstruction to determine the approximate speed the car was moving when it rammed the bus. Police have said they believe speed was a factor. The Monroe County District Attorney's Office is also watching the investigation. Brighton police say Zachary has a valid license, but he may have had too many passengers in the car. State law says drivers under age 21 may not have more than one passenger in their car unless they are all members of the immediate family. If you care to be a guinea pig for a good cause, researchers at the University of Rochester Medical Center seeking to protect people from potential flu pandemics. They're looking for volunteers to help them better understand how flu vaccines work. Doctors and nurses at the URMC are looking for 38 healthy people. They have to be between the ages of 18 and 42, and they'll be paid either $650 or $1,700, depending on which study they're in. These studies are being led by Dr. John Trainer, who's an international flu expert and head of the university's Vaccine Research Unit. Participants will be studying two experimental vaccines designed to protect against novel forms of the bird flu. Both are a squirt up the nose like flu mist rather than a shot, and both contain live virus. To the left of this window, you can find links to these and other stories, and at the bottom of the page, links for you to use. You can directly post us news items, commentaries about how these stories affect you, and community news. We are a community news resource, and we want to know about business openings, wedding announcements, birth announcements. Just post them right to us, and you'll see them up here on your CNC news pages. Next news as it happens, updates when necessary. I'm Bud Lowell, CNC News.